This is a Sharn welcome on normal and hard. Alright, so we talk to Isabet first.
Lofty towers. She can help you
And then our
contact
next.
Lucien Vaughn. Isabet tells you to take the elevator up to the terrace, then speak to Lucien Vaughn. Her employer wants you to pass along some information about the Stormreach beacon. You enter the boarding house, an island of quiet in the hustle and bustle of the city.
And then don't worry about that explosion. That's just part of the. It's just part of setting the landscape.
Reduces the elevator to a smoking ruin. You'll have to find another way up to the terrace.
The idea is we were going to take that way up, but then that way got blown up, so now we have to go a different way.
Under an all-out attack. This looks more like an office than a boarding house. Vaughn has rented this entire operation and transformed it into his place of business.
And the way is pretty linear. I'll show you when there's some alternate paths. This is actually I go this way. Up the stairs. Iconic blast. Okay. And I probably should wear my shield clicky in here. Alright, so there's some optional ways here. You might want to explore that. There's some pretty cool things. There's like an elemental fight and some other things, but this is the way really to complete the quest. But if you like dungeon crawling and exploring all the optionals, there's some cool ones in this quest. Alright, Warmar Trappers require some explanation. In a few of these quests, there are Warmar Trappers. Warmar Trappers create these exploding bugs, and basically they can one-shot you. Like, I don't know that I've actually... Okay, here's another. You want to go left, not right. So in both of the places where we had two options, we went left. So I don't know if my evasion would help me or not, because I don't know that I've ever actually... I've always avoided them. The first time I ran the chain, it was on... I don't know, like... I think we ran on like 6 Skull Reaper or something, and basically the enemies, they blew up on us, and when they were wiping us out, we didn't know what it was, and then our guild leader kind of figured out, oh, it's these bugs. So here's a Warmar Trapper. Oop. I was gonna say I won't kill it. I'll let you see the exploding thing. So they're pretty lethal, and so ever since then, whenever I see one of those, like, I run. And one tactic you can do is sort of run by it, and then it kind of starts counting down, and then run away from it, so that it'll explode, but not by you, which is the easiest way to kill it. The other thing is just whip out your bow if you're not sure. But the last thing you want to do is melee those little spider constructs. But they're effectively bombs and weapons of mass destruction, you could say, because they could wipe out several people. Alright, so here's the shrine. This is our way to the end fight.
The way up to the terrace is just ahead. But
I really like healing amp, but I'm really liking the 10% speed boost. I'm really noticing that. It's not quite as good as, like, some classes get 1 per level, like Rogue, but it's still pretty good. Alright, so this one's a little bit of a trick here. Make sure you loot your chest first thing. This is, I didn't realize this when I first ran this quest, and I didn't get my chest because of this. So the whole party has to gather here. Then you get that. Then you talk to him.
I
And
have
if
a
you
message
stay
for
here,
says Vaunt.
quest is over.
The
But if you
beacon
stay here,
belongs to me now.
I'll just wait here and
I paid
watch
the
and show
Bormar
you.
clan good money to get it.
Like if
after
you just
all.
stand there and listen to
Don't
his
think for a moment that you can
dialogue,
challenge me in my city.
watch what happens.
You're just setting yourself up for a fall.
Vaunt's companion makes a gesture.
So you fall into the
terrace
wilderness,
collapses beneath you.
and if you didn't get your chest, you've lost your chest. There's really no way back. Although I guess that's not true on lower difficulties if someone's still in the quest. So I'm going to finish out, and I'm going to rerun it on hard. Now you can get the saga. I'm doing this just because I think it's, from a video perspective, it's better to have the normal and hards together and then Reaper separate. But from your personal perspective, what I would suggest is running all the normals, getting your saga reward, and then running the hard separately, because then you get 2 saga rewards instead of 1. Since I'm doing this as a video series, and the normal sagas only give 1 skill tome, but still that could be like this, a skill tome you want. And always remember to run this on heroic and not legendary if running this at level 20. So, but I'm just running this way just because I think it works better for the video series.
Isabelle Tremont waits for you atop one of Sharn's lofty towers. She can help you contact Lucien Vaunt. Isabelle tells you to take the elevator up to the terrace, then speak to Lucien Vaunt.
So the elevator is that thing that blows up. And so I think the idea is that
you enter the boarding house.
You get to the elevator and boom, it blows up right as you get there.
A genial halfling nods to you from behind the front desk. A violent explosion shatters the tranquility of the boarding house and reduces the elevator to a smoking ruin. You'll have to find another way up to the terrace. The windows shatter and agile forms swarm in from sky coaches outside. The boarding house is under an all-out attack.
When I do my abbreviated buffs, I sometimes forget Divine Might.
This looks more like an office than a boarding house. Vaunt has rented this entire operation and transformed it into his place of business.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, but it seems like it's somewhat random. Like we get mobs here. I don't think it's due to the difficulty. I think even on higher difficulties, sometimes you get them here and sometimes you don't. I'm not sure. This is the only place I know of where there's sort of like, you may not always get mobs. There might be some others that I just haven't noticed. And remember, like, you have a choice. You want to go left, the 2 places where you have a choice. Alright, so I'm going to let this trapper make a bug. So I'm going to kill everything else but the trapper and keep an eye and see if he's making a trap over there. See, there he's making a trap. And you see that bug? Let's see if he kills Wyo. So I'm going to walk by them, and then and then kill this thing. And see how when I walked by them, it set them off? It didn't kill Wyo, that's good. It's probably because it's normal. But that's usually what I do, is I kind of walk by them to set them off and then run away, and that's an easy way to kill them. But that's still kind of risky, especially if you're running it on Reaper mode where, if you die, it's like you have no way of getting back in if you and your hireling die. So the other way to do it is to just use your bow, although that's, a lot slower than just running by. I've had pretty good luck just basically running by and getting it to explode on its own. So a good place for Holy Retribution is right there with the trappers. They're probably, at least in my opinion, the most dangerous enemy because of those bugs they make. And it's when you see them, you can usually deal with them, but the problem is every so often you just don't notice them until they blow up.
Won't be getting up to the terrace this way.
So best to just deal with the trapper right away. You saw how quickly he made 2 last time. He can make, he's going to keep making so these exploding bugs bug constructs until you eliminate them. And again, another door you could ignore. There's 2 places where you have choices. Go left in both of those places, and then
the way up to the terrace is just ahead.
Ignore the other door.
One final group of attackers blocks your path. Your piercing call in the direction of the terrace. Beast descends the ramp. One final follows. The assault on the tower seems to have ended. Now to head to the terrace and learn what became of Lucy and Vaunt.
So let's see. I want to make sure this is hard because it seems kind of easy-ish, but it didn't seem that much harder than hard.
The figure on the sky coach ahead matches the description of Lucien Vaunt. He seems unruffled by the attack.
I have a message for you,
says Vaunt.
The beacon belongs to me now. I paid the Boromar clan good money to get it, after all. Don't think for a moment that you can challenge me in my city. You're just setting yourself up for a fall.
Vaunt's companion makes a gesture and the terrace collapses beneath you.
Let's grab this. And that is a Sharn welcome on normal and hard.